How are you doing? I am Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and this video is all about rasgueados. What's a rasgueado? How do you do it? What are different types of rasgueados? Why in the world will we use a rasgueado? Who cares about rasgueados? Where do they come from? What's the scoop on rasgueados? All these questions and more will be answered in this video. I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Rasgueados are amazing for your hands. Even if you never actually have a piece of music that plays rasgueado, they're very popular in Spain. We'll talk about that more later. Even if you don't play Spanish music, they're still, I think, hands down, no pun intended, one of the best things you could possibly do for your overall dexterity and your muscles and your hands and your ability to move around on the guitar like you would like to. So let's get started on rasgueados. Yeah. So rasgueados are great on many counts, and rasgueados, for one thing, work your hands over like nothing else. They are complete powerhouse exercises for your hands. And so to start with, whether you play Spanish music or intend to, which is where rasgueados, I don't know if they originate there, but they certainly use a lot of it in Spanish flamenco music. Whether you're into that or not, I'd still recommend doing rasgueados with both hands off the guitar as an exercise. And so first off, we're just gonna start this whole video off with that right there. And so you can't hardly see my knee here, but I'm gonna lift it up. So first off, do a little grip like this, come down so that your fingernails are actually touching on your knee. And you can do this on both knees, but then I would fall off the back of my bench here if I did that. So you put it down and then go out with pinky, out with ring, middle, index, and then the thumb. And so you could just do this as an exercise, and you could do it here. You could do it on your steering wheel. You could do it on the side of your chair. You could do this anywhere. There is nowhere you cannot rasgueado. So I highly encourage you to do these as an exercise. The reason being is this right here, is that all day long we grip things. We pick up our fork and our pencil and our chopsticks and our guitar and our everything else that we pick up and everything else that we hold, we grab it, and that uses our flexors. But there are very few things in real life, quote unquote, regular life, that actually work our extensors. So if you put your fingers here and then press against so that you're pressing out, very few things work this muscle. And so rasgueados, they do this. This is what rasgueados use. Pop, 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 pop. And so whenever we're playing these, we're actually working out our extensors, which are back here in the hand. And what it does then is it balances the musculature and enables you to be much more flexible, much more powerful, have better dexterity, so better ability to move your fingers easily in any direction that you want, and much more staying power, much more stamina is the word for that. So rasgueados, super good. Now we also can actually put them on the guitar, and that's where they really come from. So as a quick demonstration of some rasgueados so that you can just know what it is that we're talking about. I'm no expert on flamenco Spanish music, but a lot of the Spanish music and a lot of the traditional Spanish music uses the rasgueados quite a lot as a very, very powerful, very fast bursts of sound, very percussive. And so whenever we're doing these, whether they're off the guitar or on the guitar, we want to make sure that we're going with a snap, and that they're all out. And so I'll say more about that in just a second as we get into this first one. This first one is just going. It's one of the most common probably, and that is that we start off with it's just the A, M, and I. We'll add the pinky in a minute, but just the A, M, and I. And so fingers start in the hand, and some people actually, I don't recommend it as far as an exercise goes, but if you just have one little burst, you could actually tuck your hand, and that way you're kind of, you tuck your fingers into your hand, and then you're kind of popping them out like that. But in general, I would just go, just like we do our arpeggios, and just have them closed in the hand, and then go out. And what you want to do is go out one finger at a time, and then once that finger is out, it stays out, like this right here, watch. This, then this, then this. It's not this, relax, this, relax, this, relax, 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 relax. It's not that. It's out, 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 all out. The reason being this happens so fast in real time. If you're actually practicing this and then this and then this, you don't have time for all of that. You want it, and also you want to be able to control when it comes back in, as we'll talk about in 2 seconds. So for this one, A-M-I, out. That's the way we start, A-M-I, yes? Now, to make this into a loop and to make it into 4 and make it into a loop to where we can go, what we do is this right here. We have our A, M come out. First A, then M. A and then M. And then when I plays, then A and M come in. And then we do, so we have A and M play, I plays, A and M come back in. And then to finish it all up and get ready to go again, I does an upstroke, like that. And that's what rounds it off and puts us into an even number. So A, M, I, A, M, I, and then I the other way. And then for this, you could put this into a steady tempo. Da, 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 da. I don't know how steady that tempo was right there, but you get the picture anyway. So that is probably the most common Rasgueado is da 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 da, just like that. Out, 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 in. That's one of the most common. Now, we can also make this into a group of 5 by starting with the pinky. Pinky out, pinky, ring, middle, index. And that just packs more of them in there. And so this is very common as well, the full hand shooting out, starting with the pinky. Those are probably the most common Rasgueados as far as playing the Rasgueados goes. Now you can also do more in strokes. So taking AMI, you can go AMI out, all 3, and then all 3 back in AMI. And now we have a pattern of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 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 in, in. Out, 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 in, in. Notice here, if the pinky wants to do something, let it. What are you going to argue with it? Just let the thing fly around if it wants to. Don't worry about it. In time it'll do less, but it's really connected emotionally to the ring finger, and so the A finger. And so if it wants to fly out there, just let it fly out. Unless there's some reason not to, and sometimes there is a reason not to, but for the most part, let the pinky do whatever it wants to do. That's my thought anyway. So out, 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 in would be this one. Great. One more Rasgueado here, and that is this wacky Rasgueado using the thumb. And this thing is very cool. It's very Spanish, and it took me a while to get. It was years ago. I was visiting some friends in Atlanta, Georgia, and just ran across this. I overheard somebody beaming about this flamenco teacher that they had taken some lessons with, and so I said, "Who is this person?" And I looked him up, and I went and had a lesson with him, and he showed me. I had never really studied Spanish music or Rasgueados or anything like that, so he showed me some basic Rasgueados. This was 18 years ago, something like that. I have no idea who this guy was. But he showed me this, and it took me a while to get, but I think it's a very cool one. And the way that it happens is this right here. It's all radius ulna type motion in the hand like this. Now, it starts with up with the thumb, and then out with the middle finger. Leave the thumb up there, because now thumb down. 3 parts. Up thumb, out with the middle finger, down with the thumb. And so it's a triplet, and it ends up being ba-da-ba. And so if you go the triplet, then it ends with an up. Da-da-da-boom, 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 da-da-da-boom. It oftentimes ends phrases. The example from earlier. Ba-da-da-ba. I know that's weak compared to a really good Spanish or flamenco player would be able to laugh at my Rasgueados, and that's perfectly fine, because this is mainly just for demonstration purposes, and I claim I do not claim to be an expert on this particular style of music, though I love it and it's very cool. So one more time with this one. Up with the thumb, out with the finger, down with the thumb. And whenever you're practicing this one, I think evenness, it's easy to lilt this thing. Something like that. And so one way to practice this is by putting accents. First off, simply accent each individual one. So up thumb accent. And remember with accents, it's not just about making one loud, it's about bringing everything else down. So, in creating contrast between the accented and the unaccented. So loud, soft, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, soft, soft. And then the middle finger gets the loud. Soft, loud, soft, 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 soft. And then finally the the down thumb at the end. And accent that. Soft, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud, soft, soft, loud. After you get good at that, well then we can actually mix it up and then accent, and I love this sort of thing. This is a pattern of 3 notes, right? With the thumb, we have up and then out with the finger and then down with the thumb. Three parts, 3 strokes. And so taking that and then accenting every 4. So that way it has to stagger which note is actually being accented every time. So to do this, it would be, I'm gonna say up, what am I gonna say? Up, out, and down. So I'm gonna have up, out, down, up, down. I can't even say that and do it at the same time. But you're accenting every 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And it goes in a cycle, and so you're accenting first this one, then the next time around the next one, then the next time around the next one, and so it takes 3 cycles to go around. And so it's just a way to even it out and just get it more into your hand so that it's actually really clean. That way whenever you go boom as just a flourish, then you've got more of a chance of it actually being even instead of lilty or off kilter in some way. So as a quick review, rasgueados all the time on the legs or on the armchair, anywhere else you can do a rasgueado. Those with both hands all the time, all over the place. And then the first one that we looked at was just with the A, M, and I, going A, M, I, boom. And then we put the I doing an upstroke as well to make it into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's with the M and the A coming in when the I plays. A and M coming in when the I plays. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we added the pinky into the affair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we did out, 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 in, A, M, I, M, I, A, M, I, A, M, I. Out, 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 in, as a 6-tuplet. And then we did, finally, the big wrist with the up thumb, out with the middle finger, down with the thumb. And did with that one, boom, 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 and then put accents on them. You could also put accents on your other rasgueados if you would like to. If there's some particular finger that's weak or if your timing is off, you could always accent, even just like the AMI, you could accent AMI, 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 or AMI, AMI, or AMI, AMI. Just go back and forth so that way you can just even it out and just get more control over the whole thing. Great, so those are some rasgueados. I hope that you can figure out right now. I'm going to take a minute, give a pause, imagine yourself, how are you going to actually practice this? How are you going to implement this into your daily practice? Where are you going to do them? What are they going to look like? Ready, set, close your eyes and imagine it right now. Go. Awesome. So now that you know exactly how you're going to practice them, now you know exactly what you're going to do with them, how they're going to be, why they're going to be, all that good stuff. Happy practicing, and I'll see you next time.